Guys and dolls, it's Friday. It's the end of the week. Hope you are all ready for the end of the week, ready for the weekend, and getting even closer to Christmas. And I hope you are all ready for Christmas. Moon behind me. Don't know if you can see it. If I can get it, can never see anything in this phone. You'll see it, but when you are watching it. So what I'm looking for over this way. There somewhere. You'll catch it. I think I've got it bang on. Come on, guys. There's the guys. Come on. Right, need to investigate what they're sniffing. Don't know what it is. What are you sniffing at? Oh, it's been a bale. There's been 2 bales there. So I'll tell you exactly what's happening. There'll be mice in there. There'll be mice there. So what happens is when the farmers do the bales and they leave them in the fields, because of the heat, the mice go underneath them. And they burrow underneath them as well. So there's the mice. Come on. Oh, she likes it. She likes it. She knows the smell. She's caught a mouse. She has caught a mouse. She is a wee bit of a hunter. Hunter-gatherer. But no, I hope you're all good. Hope you've all got food on the table, guys. And heat and electricity, I don't want people to realise how tough it is out there, And it is tough for everybody right now. And, I've got to say, for the first time ever in our society, it's as tough for people that are on benefits as it is for people working. And there's 2 reasons. 2 polar opposites, really. It's like people on benefits have been getting more money, and people that are working have been getting less money. That's what I think, And the food's been going up for everybody, And it's a very strange time society. You all know my story. Before I say what I'm going to say, before everybody jumps on and gives me a hard time for claiming for anything, I've been through a wee bit. I can say I've been through a wee bit, and I lost my way, and I'm still building. I'm still got a wee bit to go. After losing my wife, I lost my way. There's no 2 ways about it. I had a bad drug habit, and I absolutely segregated myself from everybody, more or less. Yeah, and it was a very difficult time for me. And I haven't had a kitchen in 4 years. Didn't have any heating for 3.5 years. I wasn't caring about nothing. Nothing mattered. Nothing. And then I met Katie, and after a 1.5 years, said have a baby, and then we've now got a wee baby. Lucky, So I've been trying to get the house back to normal. After, be honest with you, like. It's been a long time since the house has been decorated or anything was ever done to the house, because obviously we were looking after my mother-in-law, and we were sort of just curs in the house. It was her house and she never wanted anything changed. My mother-in-law died of MS after looking after her every day for 6 years. And then, after that we needed a year to recuperate, me and the wife, because it was hard, very difficult. Putting feed in a tube through a machine every day, water, I wasn't long after doing 18 years in the jail, and my father-in-law died, and that's how we ended up looking after my mother-in-law. And quite a lot of challenges came from it, but you don't realise the challenges till way on, after years into it, because you're caring for somebody you love, So, but yeah, it does. It's not easy on the human being, so it isn't. And so we were just getting ourselves back together, enjoying our life together, me and my wife. And COVID came along, and she got COVID right at the very start and died. And so yeah, my head went down, so it did, big time. So the last 2 years, trying to get the kitchen sorted, They came out and there was a leak under the floorboards that rotted the joists, like rotted the joist. Like there was a 10 foot by 8 foot hole in the floor, you know. I'm not kidding you on, like the guys were like, couldn't believe how nobody fell through it, you know. But they came out, boarded out the original hole that my foot went through, and then that board started going through, then they put another board on it. So obviously I'm going through some serious mental health issues, got a serious drug problem, I've died, came back, I've dived out the window, paranoid, thought I'd go solo, I was trying to communicate with my wife. Absolute madness. I mean, like I was like certified mad. There's no two ways about it. If anybody had actually paid any attention, they would have certified me and I would have got the help I needed, you know. But the council came out and they took photographs of everything, saying they were going to help me. And it was just evidence to take me to court to affect me because I was getting behind on my rent, you know. So that was their response to what I'd been through. So, you know, that sort of shook me a wee bit and woke me up, the court case, you know what I mean? At the same time as this is happening, I made the biggest mistake of my life and I got involved in a redress programme for victims of childhood abuse back in Northern Ireland. And I brought up a lot of stuff that didn't need to get brought up. And I ended up getting diagnosed with complex PTSD and personality disorder. And like that was the first time I'd ever, in all my life, I'm talking about a couple of years ago, guys, first time ever in my life I'd ever been psychologically evaluated. And that's, you know, if I give you the list of stuff, the violent stuff I've done in prison, you know, the damage I've done to people, prison officers and other prisoners, you got to ask a question. You know, even going right back to when I was 16 in the YOs and when I was 18, you know, doing serious damage. And totally, like, when I went into prison, I was just an animal. I just became an animal because that's the way I was treated. You know, back in the day, it was like pissing in piss pots, having to poo in a newspaper and throw it out the window. In a cell with another guy, or mostly two guys back then, 3 in the cell. So yeah, it was quite horrific standard of living. You know, maybe getting 1 shower a week, you know. It was difficult. Prison was difficult back in the day. Schools were brutal. So if they were brutal, we were brutal. So, you know, if you know you're going to get a beating when you get taken down to the digger, the punishment block, or the hole, or whatever they want to call it, you're going to just get into them. You know, you're going to get the beating's coming. So fucking do it here on the landing in front of all the boys. You know, so I got a bit of street cred. That's the way you would be. So yeah. So anyway, they put a new kitchen in because of the floor and everything, and they've took away 3 cupboards. So they left me with 1 cupboard on the wall in a 3-bedroom house. 2-bedroom, like, so because 2 bedrooms have been knocked into 1, obviously, for my mother-in-law. I'm still waiting for it all to get put back together. There's house in the ceiling. There's a 3-floor lift. It's you know what I mean. It's no ideal, you know what I mean. And you know, I did say to them, if it would go to another disabled person, I'll give you the house, so you'll have the house, you know what I mean? But no, they were like going to rip it out and put the house back to normal, and I was like, you know, this is my family home, you know, my wife was born and bred in this house, brought up, you know, her mum and dad and everything, you know, then I didn't ask, you know, it wasn't my fault everybody died around me and I was left in the house on my own, you know what I mean? You know, I would have liked a smaller house, a wee flat, of course I would have. That house was no good to me, man, it was huge, you know. But now I'm having a baby and everything, so I'm putting a bit of effort in getting the place sorted, you know, but still trying to get my life together. I've still got anger issues, you know what I mean. I've always had anger issues, you know what I mean, but I've sort of had it under wraps for a wee while there, and then after I lost my wife, with the withdrawals of drugs and everything and being on drugs, it triggered something, you know, and it sort of was a wee bit worse. And I have to lock myself away, I have to keep myself to myself. Can't just socialise like people do, because every time I go out I feel like, will I ever come back? Will my dogs ever see me again? Because I know if I get arrested I'll go away for a long time. If I get into a fight I won't get bail. I've never had bail, you know. I know I always get the book through at me. I got the book through at me when I was 16. I got 3 years. They gave me 3 years. No, the only way they could give me 3 years was to give me 2 years, 364 days. You know what I mean? Just a day short of a year, 3 years. Because if they had to give me 3 years, they would have had to put me in an adult jail. And, I wasn't just ready for an adult jail. I was, 17, I think, when I hit my first adult jail. Well, no, I was actually in my first adult jail when I was 16. I was in the Crumb on remand. And then, I only done 10 months as a YO that time. But, yeah. So, I know, like, a lot of people get a bye ball when they go out and stuff like that and get bail and they're able to, go back to their families and lick their wounds and decide how they're going to go up and prepare for maybe going to prison, you know what I mean? Which is very helpful for a lot of people. But in my case, I don't get, okay, I'm a serious offender, I commit serious crimes with weapons and stuff like that. And, I'm not saying I should be getting bail, but I know because of my previous, I won't get bail. And that's just the way it is, I know because of my previous, the way the judges are, they'll just hammer me, you know what I mean? And, yeah. I mean, they were wanting to give me life this time. That's the truth. Only the Sun newspaper, or I can't mind the Daily Record, one of the headlines was Ulster loyalist faces life in prison. And because the newspapers said that, the judge couldn't give me life, because as my lawyer said then, if the judge gave me life, he was going on what the papers were saying. So thanks to the papers, I'd be still on a life licence as I'm talking to you. I probably wouldn't be able to do this because they would probably have that. They would probably tell me I couldn't do it, and if I kept doing it, it would break my conditions, because it'd be just a way to control you. And when you're on licence, they can control you. They can do whatever they want, because when you're on a life licence, you can go, they get to say, so you can do 25 years of your sentence, and then you get out, you do something wrong, get into a fight in a bar or whatever. And you can go back to prison for, like, say, 10 years for something really that you wouldn't even probably get months for. So yeah, being a lifer would have been really, really difficult for me to move on with my life. And it would probably drove me down a very dark hole, and I would have probably been in doing a very, very long time, because I would have been very angry at the world. And that's probably what makes people psychopaths, what makes people go and do crazy things, is because they just have never had a break in life. The people that are meant to look after them, like the government, social services, probation, prison, they do the total opposite, It's almost like they go out of their way to try and trip you up, to try and, get you back into prison, because, it's easier for them just when you're out. They can't be asked for all the meetings and all the bull, you know what I mean? Because a lot of bull comes with it, you know what I mean? Because when you're out or trying to get out of prison, and you're in front of parole boards and probation boards, it's all bull, I don't know anybody's been rehabilitated in prison. When you're doing parole, like, I'll just tell you about me, you know what I mean? I knew exactly what I needed to do to get parole, to get it early, to take, a couple of years, 3 years off my sentence, get me to open and get me on home leaves, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to change where I was living, my friend and behaviour, so I needed to stay in Scotland. I needed to get married, because no family, had changed their circumstances. I needed to make sure I had employment, and I needed to make sure I educated myself. These are some of the key factors that they look for when you go for parole. And if you know the law and the rules of the prison sort of thing, and you know that don't fail any drug tests, don't get in any fights, have a clean record for 6 months, tick all them boxes that I just said, they can't refuse you, they really can't refuse you. So it's just playing the game. I was coming out of there, I was just the same man I went in. They didn't think that. They think I was reformed, I was this, I was that, And it's all bull. It's just, that's prison. People in prison, they're never going to change in prison. I changed when I came out of prison, you know what I mean? Being married and having somebody that I loved, and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, a family, for the first time, gave me something to focus on, you know what I mean? And yeah, I managed to, with the help with some friends and stuff, that I met in prison, that also got out, and we're also trying to go on the straight and narrow and stuff. I managed to do it, and then just as I done it, bang, father-in-law, bang, mother-in-law, bang, wife. So yeah, I was in a bad place, really bad place, guys. So I'm one of them guys that believes, like, I do deserve some things in life, just the way that I've been treated by, everybody in power all my life, Northern Ireland, Scotland, everywhere, England. And We have immigration flooding into this country, and they're getting everything. They're getting houses now. This is if I wanted to private rent a house, and so the social pay for it, like I'm on benefits, right? So, and I didn't have a council house, and I've seen a private let. I could get a private let, and the council would pay the rent, but they'll only pay so much. So if the house is say £700 and they only pay £550, I have to pay the rest. You understand? Now the question I need to ask here is how is Somalian families living in houses that are £5,000-6,000 rent a month? That doesn't make any sense to me. We're getting like every penny blade dry. If you have a spare room and you don't use it, you've got to pay for it. You understand? You've got to pay for that spare room, you know. Obviously that leaves things open for you to get somebody in it or pretend somebody's in it and get a bit of rent or whatever, you know what I mean? It opens all up, so all things that they don't even think about that people do in the working class. But some honest to God people, decent people, will have to pay all that, you know. The working class areas are very, very, very different than anywhere else, you know. When you've got nothing, you learn to survive. You learn to steal electricity. You learn how to dodge gas. You learn how to dodge everything. You learn the law. You learn the social. You learn what you're entitled to, what you can get. Blah. There's people that are experts. You know, there's an expertise in every village. Every couple of blocks, there'll be somebody that can help you out and save you lots of money. You know, and that's the way it is. That's how people survive. You know. And the people that suffer the most are the nicest, the best and kindest people in the world, and our pensioners. And you know, the pensioners don't have a voice, and that's why they're under attack. That's why their pensions were under attack. That's why they got the winter fuel. Can you see the bullying of our government? How they treat people like me, how they treat people that come through life that lose their mum early, get brought up and like by different peer groups and manipulated and, you know, done some bad things by older guys telling me that was the right thing to do, you know, and there was nobody else there to tell me any different. I never had one single adult in my whole life as an adolescent give me any positive advice on life at all. Everything I learned is from older guys and watching movies. And that's no word of lie. I learned how to shave. Bruce Willis taught me how to shave in a film, you know, and that's the God's honest truth. When you're a young man and you think you're a wee dude, you're not running up to your mates and going, how do you shave? Or is there a way to shave? You know what I mean? You're not asking about sex or women. You don't have any clue. Everything is a nightmare to navigate in life, you know? So anyway, got my kitchen and lost all my cupboards. They fit me with one cupboard on a big massive kitchen, right? That's all I'm entitled to. Obviously it's for the cuts because we're given so much money. Because 1.5 billion a month is going to people that are coming into this country. People like me are suffering because we're the most vulnerable. We've got the smallest voices. What can we do? You know, what can I do, guys? You know what I mean? What can anybody in my situation do? What can any old person, any vulnerable person, anybody with mental health in this people that don't know how to work out, can't navigate things because of their mood and their temper, trying to navigate the social system, how to get benefits. Not knowing that there's things there to help them when they're sitting absolutely with no heating, no electricity and no food. Because there's loads of people, I promise you guys, I swear to God, yes, there's loads of people getting whatever they want in life, but there's as many people getting nothing because they're too good. And they're the ones that are suffering in our society right now. I promise you, guys, on God, on my mother's grave, this is the truest thing I've ever said to you online. The people that suffer most in our country, in our society right now, are British people with British grandparents that have got mental health issues or are old. That's honest to God's truth. Everybody with an ounce of sense about them knows how to navigate. There's money getting thrown about all over the place. Why do you think there's so many people coming to the country? It is fucking easy. £2,000 a month, easy peasy. Anybody comes to me, I guarantee you can get £2,000 a month, easy peasy. You know, I don't do it because I'm not that way, but other people could. You know, and I used to be, the reason why I don't do it is because I honestly believe if you pretend you're not well, or you pretend there's something wrong with you, and you get something from that's going to come back and haunt you. You know, obviously I put down everyone through the bombs that I've suffered, stuff, the violence that I've seen, all my prison stuff with my wife, my mental health, higher struggle, just to get a wee bit of help, and I was knocked back, which is fair enough. You know what I mean? I appealed it and they didn't even reply to the appeal. Maybe I was a wee bit cheeky. Maybe my anger came out, you know what I mean? But this is a problem that people like me have. I don't get nowhere in life because of my anger. I can't control my anger. When I'm trying to speak to somebody on the phone and they're being disrespectful to me, I get angry. They then hang up and they refuse to answer the phone again. It works with doctors, it works with the dentist, it works with everything in life. So people like me get nothing and go nowhere, and it's really, really difficult. It really is difficult. And that's the way it is, like I say, that is our society. So anyway, no cooker, right? And I need a cooker, for my baby. As soon as my kitchen's in, I get my baby and my partner in, you know what I mean? And applied for a cooker, as you do. And I got knocked back for that as well, So basically, guys, there is a big change happening with the welfare system and stuff like that. But it is only us that's suffering, I'm not going to say who, but a family members, did say, this depends what your name is in this world nowadays. I don't believe that, I think that's a bit extreme. But I know there is people in society now that do believe that. I also know that there's people in society actually pretending to become Muslim. This is no word of a lie. Honestly, I don't know if they're doing it just to take the piss, or they're doing it out of anger, or they're just doing it to prove a point. But there's people that I know that have changed their names, deep pull, and they've went to the council and everywhere that concerns them, and they now think he is a Muslim. It's nuts, because they truly believe that they will get through life better and easier when people see that name. I swear to God, you can't make this stuff up, and I'm not making it up, guys. It's like, this. I've had this conversation. I've already told you about it. I've already had other people say to me that, and it's all jokingly, you know what I mean? That they should look. I've had a guy, one of my best mates, split up with his wife, and married for 20 odd years. Tried their best. Grown up son. The boy's in his 20s. He's gonna have a wee and get married or settling down and all that. So they've done their job as parents, and they've split up. So he's out of the house, she's got the house. So he needs somewhere to stay. He can't get anywhere to stay. He works, he can't afford any rent, And he said to me, Freedom Dad, he says, and he didn't say Freedom Dad he said Sparky, that's my nickname. Right, come on, chill up. He said, Sparky, he says, you know what? He says, if I went over to France, because he's quite tanned, and jumped on one of them things, he came back, he says, I'd get a house, I'd get a flat, I'd get a hotel first. He said, I'd be quite happy with that. He says, and then I'd get a flat. And that is the irony of the situation that the Labour government and the Tories have got us in today, And, I'll do all right, guys, I'm going to appeal it. I'm going to fight for my rights, just like everybody else is doing. We know that I don't have any NGOs to help me, you see. I've got nobody there to show me exactly what I'm entitled to by every penny. I could go and speak to people and could sit down. But again, I'm doing stuff that I'm not comfortable with. I want what I'm entitled to. I don't want to break the rules. To be honest, I really don't. I don't want to break the rules. I struggle with my temper. I've been through an awful lot in life, and I'm getting better, and I will get better. I'm getting better and better every day. My episodes of where I go down, I've got fear and fear. I had one not long after the baby was born. So the baby's 5 weeks now. So that's really good for me. 5 weeks, a couple of months is normally good, but it's it's positive. Everything's positive, and yeah, just still no drinking, still drug free. Got a problem with smoking, obviously, but that's just. I don't think I'm ever going to win that battle, to be honest with you. I've tried and tried and tried. But I will. See, I shouldn't even say that to myself. See what I mean? Just, what chance have I got? I'm going to say that. But yeah, guys, Britain, I'm letting you know what's going on in the working class areas, right? This is what I do, you know what I mean? Get rid of Labour, bring Protestants and Catholics together. I know. I'll try. I'm trying, I do try off screen all the time. I promise you I do. And I do change hearts and minds slowly, one by one, And, but This is what it's about. And I'm going through stuff. I went through the hospital stuff, and where they were coming out and saying there's no doctors. You know what I mean? I was there in the waiting rooms with so many people. I was there. We were told to come to the hospital, then had to go back. I was there when they were moving people from one hospital to another hospital miles away because they had no room. I was there when I was waiting days and days to get from my partner getting juiced. When you think you're going to have a baby, because there was no beds, and then there was no beds in the labour ward. And this just went on. This was the whole way through the whole thing. You know what I mean? And even going to Accent Mersey last week on a Monday, I'd never seen it so full. So yeah, the NHS is a breaking point, and this is what Labour are keeping quiet. I'm living it, I'm experiencing it. They're cutting back on people like me, people that don't have a voice, that don't have I haven't got a community that'll come out and fight for me like some communities do. You understand? We don't have councillors that represent us. At the minute, we've only got councillors that represent the left, and we all know who they represent. So I'm not on that list. Simple as that, And yeah, we're suffering. People and it's like I'm a mild case, guys. Don't feel sorry for me. Please don't feel sorry for me. I'm trying to bring examples. I feel I'm in a position where I'm entitled to do what I'm doing. You understand? And because I look okay to use and stuff like that. You only see me for half an hour, sometimes an hour a day. And there's a lot more hours in the day, but I have to say I'm a lot better and things are a lot better. And this has helped. Believe you me, guys, the amount of love and support I get from you guys, I should have said that straight away because, that has been a big factor of this. I never thought this would go the way it was going. I never done this to be some sort of thing. I done this because I was worried about my country. I seen YouTubers worrying. I seen people getting arrested for speaking, and I seen the damage that would do if everybody just shut down. The government would have took over then. They would have continued by shutting down sites and continued doing whatever they do. But the thing that we've got now, every time they bring one down, another three come up because they get so angry. That's what's happening. We get so angry that we go, you know what? I'm not doing nothing wrong. If you want to put me in jail for doing something wrong, at least my daughter will know I've done something right in my life. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at it. And I think that's the way a lot of men are looking at it right now. They're getting that stage now where you can't come out in the streets and fight. There's no fight, Trust me, I'm from Belfast. I've seen how the police work. I've seen how they work. You're no fighting them. You're no beating them, So the only options you have is like political, you know what I mean? Peacefully. And the government know that. They know that now. And that's a big problem, guys. It is criminal. It is criminal what's happening. When I see people around me that are in worse cases than me getting denied for things that they're entitled to, and I see people that are breaking into this country getting things that they're not entitled to, it breaks my heart. But guys, it's really cold. It's early in the morning. I'm a wee bit grumpy, you know what I mean? Just got knocked back yesterday for the cooker. I was hoping to get the cooker right in the day and finish the drinking out in the living room and have baby home for Christmas. I don't think baby's going to be home for Christmas. I don't have the lino down. Like, I'm going to have to get another couple of cupboards from somewhere, because obviously there's not enough cupboards in the kitchen. And guys. Oh, sorry guys. Get my mic back in. I will cut this. Yeah, drop my phone. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, guys, and let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you know anybody that's going through anything that I'm going through, and let me know what do we do about it. Do we get people to start coming online and talking about what they're going through? Is that what we do? Do we ask people around us to do us a wee video? Do me as a wee video, Do we send it to Paul Thorpe? Mar Tusi, Paz 49, big YouTubers. That's a possibility. Maybe if we started doing something like that and people started realising how many people are actually suffering in this country, each and everybody's individual story, maybe then the world will start listening to us. I'm feeling that, If you like my stuff, give us a wee like. If you want to see more stuff, give us a subscribe. And if you don't like my stuff, then don't come back, obviously. That's the good thing about social media, guys. You don't have to watch the stuff. You can choose your own stuff, you know what I mean? And that's what I always say. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And don't be hateful. I'm not a hateful person. guys you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? I have got problems. I can be a bad person, you know, and I don't even know how to explain that to you. You know what I mean? I mean well, but I don't do well sometimes, and I can't explain that to you. But what I'm going to say, like, you know, I do thank you all so much for the love and everything, and the likes and the comments and getting to know you all. You know, certain ones I'll get to know. I'm going to do a wee video at Christmas to thank all of you that leave comments. If I do leave anybody out, you know, you can drop me a wee line or a wee comment. I'll go, oh, shit, you know what I mean? And I'll do a wee video for you or something, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give you the love back these are given to me without a doubt. So, listen, guys, looking forward to Christmas. First Christmas with a real relative ever in my life. So, a blood relative, I mean, you know what I mean? So, I've never really enjoyed Christmases because of just my life, prison, my mother-in-law having MS, you know, this never been, Christmas has never been a time for me to enjoy. So hopefully this is going to be one of the first Christmas I'm going to truly, it's going to be special to me. And no matter how many I have after that, this one's going to be one I'll never forget. All my love, and God bless.